Mike's Daily Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 1900.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
That's right, we've made it to 1900 shows with you and me. And yesterday was a big anniversary where I said that I had been in the Bay Area for, 10 years now? 10 years now, traffic, so sad. And how did I end up in the Bay Area? Well,
Mike's Daily Podcast.
An ex-wife. Hey, do you know what's an interesting idea? A divorce party. Have you done it?
Mike's
I didn't.
Daily
But some people do.
Podcast.
My lovely lady friend,
Yeah!
she divorced her ex-husband years ago. I'm divorced. We should have a divorce party, the two of us. We should have a 1900 party. Wow, 1900 episodes of Mike's Daily Podcast. I started actually in 2007, so if that works out mathematically... No, wait, 2011, I think. Yes, it does not work out mathematically. It means Mike did not do a daily podcast. It means Mike named the show wrong. But I tried as daily as possible. 1900 episodes. And Mike Matthews also watched the Wine Country, a little bit of the Wine Country episode on Netflix. And no, I do not want this podcast as I'm trying to talk to you at 5:47 in the morning. Oh God. So early. At 8 o'clock last night, I start watching Wine Country on Netflix. The Amy Poehler, Tina Fey, Rachel Dretch, Maya Rudolph, Anna Gasteyer, Jason Schwartzman show, movie about a bunch of ladies going to Napa Valley to celebrate, I think, Rachel Dretch's character's turning 50. And there are some really funny parts because they went very...
And here's today's podcast picture.
Maya Rudolph, who was also in Bridesmaids, as well as this, it has that kind of Bridesmaids feel to it. And I laughed at that movie. And I really enjoyed it. There was some insight, I think, into what middle-aged women go through in today's world. And lots of jokes about it. But that's not the big story. Apparently the big story is Joe Biden talking about when he was a lifeguard at a pool in an all-black neighborhood years ago. And that made him forever be good with race relations. And that's Basil, the boxer. You can see a picture of him at MikesDailyPodcast.com from the last podcast. Today's podcast picture... Oh, do you know Joe Biden, I guess he had a nemesis at this pool place called Corn Pop. That is just such a 1950s term. I don't know. It sounds very 1950s to me. Look out for Corn Pop. He'll come at you. He's mean. My lovely lady friend took some nice pictures at Lake Merritt on Friday and Saturday as well, and such a hot day. There's some lovely Canadian geese pictures here that I'm going to post for the Mike's Daily Podcast picture. The podcast picture at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Also on Instagram, you can follow me. I'm there. Just look for Mike's Daily Podcast. Not the best of news yesterday. Yesterday, I hadn't talked to my mom since the Hurricane Dorian had passed. And so I'm like, I better give my mom a call, see what's going on. I'm sure things are good. That's always the assumption, right? Before something you find out bad happened. But, so she got through Dorian just fine. But then the very next day, when she called me right after Dorian had passed and told me she was fine. Apparently the next day she gets a pain in her hip. And it is so excruciating that she can't walk. And it's so bad that she has to call 911 and an ambulance has to take her to the hospital so they can take a look at what this pain is. And here's the thing about 911 doctors that you get. I'm going to be pretty blunt about this. The experiences that I've known people that went through, they're there to stop you from dying, like right there. Other than that, they're absolutely no good whatsoever. One time when I was married, my then wife, she tripped on a side of a curb and fell down and hurt her knee. And she was in a lot of pain, so she had to go to emergency. I think that cost something like $2,000, that entire trip. Or maybe even more. It may have been like $5,000. It was a lot. And basically all they did was put some ice on it, and they looked at it, and they go, "You're fine." That's all they did. You know, unless you're dying, and they stop the trauma, you're there. That's why you're there. So my mom's in pain. The doctor who sees her says, "Oh, you just have arthritis." And that's how he diagnoses it. And that doesn't fix the problem. Just take some over-the-counter arthritis medicine. Well, my mom takes blood thinners. So she's taking this medicine that's conflicting with the blood thinners. That puts her back in the hospital a few days later because she is basically... blood is happening and bad things are happening. And so she goes back to the hospital. The doctors try and fix that issue. But basically it comes down to you got to see your primary physician who knows you. Of course, that person is always impossible to see. The appointment to see that person, the primary care physician, usually it has to happen weeks in advance, but you got to see them right now. I know. That's where I don't know what country has got it down right, because my German relatives that live in a socialist medicine type situation, they have to wait and wait, and they don't get the best care. Yet here we wait and don't. I mean, is the care much better? Maybe. So my mom, as we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast, summer podcaster Valentino, not doing very well. Her side not doing well. And she's going to get a cortisone shot today, which seems to be what everybody is suggesting to her to do. So hopefully that will work things out. But it just goes to show, and this is very tough to do because you're in pain. When you're in pain, it is very difficult to make rational judgment choices and to try and figure out what's wrong with you. You just want the pain to go away. You just want an answer. And when the doctor gives you a stupid, messed up, half-baked one, how is that supposed to help you? So anyway, she's going cafe anyway through that right now. And thank you for any good thoughts you can send her way. Here at Cafe Anyway. And look who's out here right now. Oh, look, it's Corn Pop. No, not. It's this person. From yesterday's show, too. Hi, Mike. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How y'all doing?
It's a Disgruntled Fiddle Player. Tell you what.
What?
Benita, it's pretty obvious that Mark is not doing good because his mom not doing good.
I'm sorry. Thank you, guys. Yeah, and it's tough because she's 2,000 miles away. And what do? Should you fly out there and help them? And then you're helping them, but at some point you got to go back. Or do you change your whole life and say, no, I'm going to move. I'm done with California. I've been there 10 years. I'll go to Florida now and try and help my mom because she needs me. These are questions that weigh on your good host's mind. Oh, hey, someone who was on this show a couple of times in the past, and we had a segment for her called Hanging Out with Lady Katie, or Holding Court with Lady Katie. Well, Lady Katie just got married. I think this is her second husband now. So congratulations to her. Apparently, the pictures that she put it on Instagram looked very Napa Valley-esque. So that's probably what she did. Lots of wine country and fine linens stretched out on beautiful tables, and oft in the background, the dry brush and chaparral and the vineyards vineyards every otherwhere. But finally, and I'm just sort of in a wine tasting frame of mind. I guess wine is probably what I'm doing today. I'm doing a little bit of whining, as I tend to do on this show. But my mom enjoys wine, and she, I'm sure would really like a nice glass right now, but I think the pain meds she's on probably not a good idea to do that. And then a little bit of wine would probably help my headache that I have right now from getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning and all that. But a little wine is okay for you. It's got some antioxidants in it. They say the red wine is much better, though, than the white wine. And Napa, and Livermore, and our surrounding vineyards are much more well known for their red wines anyway. Mom likes the white wine. Well, whatever the case, thank you for listening to the show and, your thoughts about wine in general. 336MM Daily, that's 3 plus 3 equals 6. MM as in Mike Matthews, Daily as in what this podcast is. Oh, and look who's pouring us a delicious root beer.
Hello, Mark. I make the delicious root beer.
And there it is, the delicious root beer.
Drink some right now, I'll cure you. I hate wine. Oh, boy.
You hate wine. All right. There you go. Thank you for listening to today's show. Next show, it'll be the wonderful Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. You can follow me on all kinds of social media and listen to this podcast all over the dang place. And you can tell me what you think of the show. You can call, or you can also email me, MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com, and here's Ariel to tell us all that over again.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!